What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is Agree to Disagree. Eagles coaching carousel. We're talking that, talking a little Sixers with you, and go over what happened the last 2 days in the NFL. Let's go. Welcome in, everybody. This is Agree to Disagree, only on A2D Radio. Every Sunday, we are brought to you by our doc, make them yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, location in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. As always, every Sunday, Nick DelGozzo, Greg Milakovic, Brian Wilson. I'm Thomas Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in. And we got a lot to talk about. Crumb of the week at the end of the show. Sixers. We'll preview the upcoming week, get to that with you. They're playing really good basketball right now. We'll give you a little recap of what happened over the divisional round. The NFC title game is set. The AFC title game is set. So we'll give you predictions there. Main topic at hand, Eagles coaching carousel. You found this out 8 weeks ago, but Sean Desai was officially fired today, and Matt Patricia won't be coming back as well, which his contract was up anyway, but he said he's going to be looking for other opportunities. So he won't be back either. So the Eagles will be looking for a new defensive coordinator. But will they be looking for a new offensive coordinator? And that's our poll question. It's brought to you by Baggio's Bread. They're located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pies, sandwiches, cutlets, meatballs. You mentioned A2D Radio. You get 10% off your in-store order. So go check out Baggio's Bread, Mount Laurel, New Jersey. So to our poll, the Eagles will have a new offensive coordinator next year. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Most importantly, join the conversation tonight. Okay, so we found out about the defensive side of the football. I couldn't agree more with that, even though I think that's more of a talent problem than it is a scheme problem. Okay, but I'm okay with it, right? Good. New people in here, fine. Let's go on, but let's also bring in new players too, especially on the defense side of the football. Now, offensively, it's more of a scheme problem than it seems like to be a player problem, right? More than a personnel problem. So, and then the reports come out about Brian Johnson and Jalen Hurts, and sort of like they didn't see eye to eye in play calls, and Jalen would just sort of start going rogue and run what he wants. And that's really interesting because that would mean fire Jalen, not Brian Johnson, if that's his play calls. So we'd like to really find out whose play calls they are. I feel like that's somebody who might have been too close to the situation to begin with. A guy who's known him too long, right? When you know a guy that long, you can get comfortable. So as much as you would think it's a good thing, sometimes that could be a bad thing, right? Where this guy feels like he can do whatever he wants. I don't really like to hear that. That being said, yeah, while we're doing it, they better have a new offense coordinator. They better have a different plan, a different direction. And I think Jeffrey wants a new offense coordinator. So I can't imagine they won't unless Brian Johnson's back. And maybe he is, right? Maybe it is. Maybe all the stuff about what Jalen was doing is true. Who knows, right? All these reports come out at this time too. All right. But that being said, I'm going to agree. I think look at the offensive design this year too. Look at the difference, right? Everything's just looked off. Right? We were scoring 28, but it didn't feel right. Right? We had no rhythm. There was no rhythm. You can be a great designer of plays, but have no rhythm in calling them. Right? Or your quarterback could be going rogue. I don't know. I don't want to think like that right now. But if it's just like on the surface, Nick said it's his offense. Okay. I don't like that. I don't like any of it. So I don't know what to think on the offense side of the football. Because no matter who you bring in, are you a puppet to Nick? Are you going to run what Nick wants? Are you going to run what Jalen wants? Or are you going to have your own identity and what you want to run? What you like, how you like to attack defenses. I don't know. I don't like to hear that we don't run any crosses anymore and we never attack the middle of the field. Like, that's weird. That's strange to me. So if that's Brian Johnson doing, we better have a new offensive coordinator. And I just think the way it's been, with the fans in this city and what the owner just watched, I think that's the reason he's keeping the head football coaches, because he's telling them, hey, all coordinators gone. All three of those guys. They're gone. Give me some ideas for some veteran offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. And we'll get into them after everybody goes through the poll. We'll get into some names that have merged for the defense side of the football, and we'll get into some names that have merged on the offense side of the football as well. So tell me what you think. Let me know. The Philadelphia Eagles will have a new offensive coordinator next year. Do you agree or disagree? Wells, go ahead.
I'd like them to have a whole new coaching staff, including Sirianni. But I mean, to me, it's first off, it's not. I read a thing today that says if a team that makes the playoffs, if they lose both their coordinators, they've never won a playoff game the following year. That's us this year, and if we lose both again, it would be us again next year. That's not a good sign. But I mean, I do want them both. Obviously, Desai's already gone, and I would like Johnson fired as well. I mean, I think the offense was too inept. We have too much talent to be as inept as we were, and the defense was terrible. I mean, I think I agree with you. That's more players and scheme on defense, but you got to. I mean, you have to be fired, obviously, as he already was, but you just have to be. So yeah, I'd fire him. I want them both gone. So yeah, bring somebody in.
That's an interesting.
I don't understand the whole. Sorry.
No, it's interesting. So well, hold on. You said that little statty poo you tossed around.
Little nugget, yeah.
The little nug was fun to chew on. So that's even fired, or
was
that's
that
just left?
Was that under a Snapple cap or what?
Is there an asterisk next to that anyway? Or lose or fire?
It's definitely not ideal. I could imagine
I think it's just replaced. It said replaced, so it could be fired or they left.
Oh.
Like obviously last year they left.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. But either way, that's not a good stat.
Okay, so
I find it interesting that like Jalen and Johnson, there's this whole thing now about they're saying that they weren't seeing eye to eye, and there's problems behind the scenes. Like, aren't they like? Didn't he handpick him? Aren't they like supposedly best friends? Isn't he best friends with his dad? All kinds of stuff. Like strange.
Yeah, they were close. So I don't know how I take that info. Right? I don't know. Take it for a grain of salt right now. I think you'll really find out if he's back, if that info is true. If he's not back, hey, maybe those reports were true, right? But if he's back, then yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it can't be. I don't know how it couldn't be, and agree with in all capital letters. I mean, after what you saw, now that's the first step. You know what I mean? You go through, and that's the first layer. All right, but as Eagle fans, you better hope that was it. You better hope that was it, because if not, there ain't no other rock to look under. You know what I mean? So that's what that's what everybody wanted to say this year. All right, and it was awful. I'm not even remotely gonna justify it or try to look for another excuse. I'm just saying you can only go to that well. You can only go to that well once. You know what I mean? Then the other well they want to go to is you don't have anybody to throw to. There's no weapons. Can't check that box. You know what I mean? So, for 250 million reasons, better hope it was coaching. So we'll see. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be funny or just letting you know that's reality. You know what I mean? There ain't nowhere else.
It would be on brand for him to fall apart after he gets paid. It happens here a lot.
Yep, just like field goals wide right in Buffalo.
Oh, too soon.
No, but this is true. Some things just trend in sports.
Some things are just there,
too
right?
True. Too true. Not too soon. Too true.
Like there's just nothing you can do about it. You can smell it coming.
I also agree. I mean, you probably could have talked me into keeping Johnson around, and for no other reason other than just we know what the continuity with an offensive coordinator and a quarterback can do, right? And keeping them together. nothing about this season other than them sticking together through another offseason, through another potential season, is probably the only benefit that you could have talked me into. But then, as you mentioned, Tommy, there's that nugget drops, and however true or untrue it is, that can't come out, and then you keep your offensive coordinator, right? And I think as you look around the league too, I think the amount of names that are out there for offensive coordinator, I think outweigh what potentially is there for the defensive side, even to where it's even more strongly suggested. And yes, absolutely replace them. With the names that are out there, they're just all better names than Brian Johnson right now.
Philadelphia?
Chip. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Sign me up.
Yeah, I don't know if you're
the one guy
Jeffrey
that Greg actually likes.
That's what I was just going to say, Will.
Kelly.
Will's that's incredible.
Capital B-U-M bum.
I mean, that's like Greg is our guy. That's incredible.
He don't want Harbaugh. He wants Chip Kelly.
I'm back in on Harbaugh.
Dude's amazing.
I'm in on Jimmy. It won't happen, but I'm in.
No, it won't happen.
Yeah, he's going West Coast, I would think.
Well, even and not do with that. He ain't gonna come here with Howie here.
No,
there's no control there. So that won't fly. But on a defensive side,
I saw that insider information.
I mean, if Bill wanted to come here and he said he'd fire Howie, he comes, I'd probably fire Howie.
Yeah, Bill same way. Bill's not coming here with that.
Yeah,
a lot of those really established guys aren't coming here right now.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
With what's out there and what's been known, unless there's some big time winks that you're calling the shots. It's your decision, your team. You're shopping for the groceries. But I will say this: so 2 names popped up for a defensive. Well, 3 names really, because if you want to count Denard Wilson, who's been in that conversation from the beginning. But you also have Wink Martindale, who obviously is well known. And would fit our style and what we want. And then there's Ryan Nelson, who's another one, who was a assistant coach for the Saints and a defensive line coach, and was a defensive coordinator last year for the Falcons. So don't, not a ton of defensive coordinating experience besides last year, right?
Yeah.
But Wink has a ton. So it just depends on what you're looking for. Wink's a pressure cat. So what you're getting. That's not going to change. He's not going to come here and all of a sudden be a passive coordinator. So it's depending on what you like. And they're just the newest names, right? There's the newest names, and there'll be other names that circle through here. I'm sure it's something they would probably want to get done in the next week or two, would be my guess. You don't want to keep those things lasting too long.
Especially when you need to replace both, right? This is kind of the behind this is kind of what threw us behind last year was we played so deep into the season that we were behind on knowing that we had to replace both. And then it throws off the opportunity to interview, the guys that you want, as opposed to just the guys that are out there, which might not truly be who you want to bring on.
Well, yeah, because they already had jobs, right, Greg? I understand. Yeah, because they were already hired at that point. Yeah, a bunch of guys.
And
you're right though. We
screwed us for Fangio, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You would probably want to do it soon, though. I totally agree there. Like probably in the next week or two, for sure.
Yeah, because for a lot of reasons, you want kind of defense you're running. We'd really like to know that, especially as you go into free agency and you start prepping for the draft. You sort of want to know what direction you're going there. One above all says Wink doesn't get along with head coaches, burn bridges in Baltimore and New York.
Well, I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Same thing about Jim Schwartz.
I'm okay with that. I mean, not comparing them. One was a legend, but Buddy Ryan, never got along with anybody. He just isolated himself. It was them against the defense against everybody. You know what I mean? Like, get out of the locker room, get away from us. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I thought he did a good job with, you want to talk about a bad roster. I thought he did a pretty good job with the Giants defense, considering. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, on the field a lot too, would be my guess.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right. Thiemann says Dan Quinn is another wild card. I heard his name mentioned a little bit, Thiemann too. Another good name, obviously. If he just wants a change in Dallas.
I would think he's going head coach, probably Seattle.
Could be.
Back to the scene of the crime.
Yep. That is correct, Greg. I just don't. I mean, I think Dan Quinn, I don't know why he would make a lateral move. I think if he's going to move from Dallas, he would go and get a head coaching job. Because there's plenty out there.
Yeah, the other
or he just doesn't want to be in Dallas.
Yeah, yeah.
He just wanted to come here. Who knows?
Well, that's what I was just going to say. I don't think you definitely don't out checkbook that guy. But maybe he wants out. I don't. You know what I mean? So I hear you. That could definitely be it. But
sell a movie, Jeffrey.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. You don't out checkbook, Jerry. But
gonna need a box office hit, Jeff. Marvin says Greg Williams. I mean, listen, I like Greg Williams, so it's another well-known name.
Bring some bounties back. I'll take some bounties.
I'm all off for. Listen, this defense couldn't tackle, so pay him. Pay him a little extra to tackle that. Because they didn't do it. So we love a guy in here with a little checkbook account. Yeah, love a little checkbook accountability in the house. Love a little bit of it.
This first off, disgusting. I wasn't on this on Monday. Disgusting display of I don't think I've ever seen worse tackling in a playoff game. Disgusting.
Pee-wee football.
They just missed another.
Yeah. They just missed another. They missed a flight.
Probably three more.
Denard Wilson's another name, right? Left to go to Baltimore for the same job what he was here.
Yeah, DB coach, right?
Yeah, I like him and go and get a little Baltimore taste in him too. And then go back.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, I do like that. So Denard Wilson's another name. I know the players really like them. Now,
Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton has emerged as a stud this year. I don't know if that's all because of him, but I'm sure he helped.
I'm sure it didn't hurt.
His dad did a good job too, but yes, absolutely. Mr. Hamilton's ball bag did a pretty good job, but yes.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to suggest daddy ball in Baltimore. I was trying. No pun intended. No pun intended.
We took a fat D tackle over him. So.
Pat, we mentioned this on Wednesday. Rex Ryan rumors. I'm all off for Rex. So
I love Rex. I'll bring Rex in a second.
Yeah, I mean, sign me up.
I would already glowingly.
You want this city? I already. Yeah, Wells. I said you want this city to be like talking to town. Bring Rex in. I mean, they won't stop talking. I mean, we won't stop talking defense. You want to get back to? I don't know if Jeffrey likes defense that much. You know what I mean? That's the problem. I don't think
too much defense.
Yeah, that's it. Jeffrey's like, hold on. That's too much defense for my life.
I don't want him. He's too good of a coordinator. I don't want him. Morons, man.
But you guys good on? You guys all good on Rex?
I do Rex.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Heartbeat.
You'd be the head coach by week 6, probably. But
yeah, I'll do his feet.
I might hire him as head coach.
Yeah, I'll do his feet.
I was going to say, anybody that's willing that he come out with a foot thing is kid coach some defense.
Yep, wasn't even a report. Talked about it on air.
Got tattooed.
Keys, is Patrick Queen a free agent? Or he signed?
I think there is. I think he's with Devontae, right? He's coming up to be extended.
Baltimore,
maybe not right away, but
Baltimore's not in the business. Baltimore's not in the business is letting dudes go.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
No, I just guys. I know. Just let a guy dream. One of them on draft night.
Oh, I'm just talking out loud. Yeah,
I think he's a year older, Greg. Why do I think he's a year older?
Maybe he is.
It's his third year in the league, I think. Right, third year. This was his third year.
Fourth.
He came in with Jefferson. Remember? Because Eagles took Rieger. Eagles took Rieger, and
yes, he is up
so
then
fourth year
because he does. Then he is up for an extension or moving on.
Because they could have took Jefferson and/or Queen, and they took Rieger.
Yeah, good pick. Good pick.
Enough, sweeps. It's enough.
Solid
I already watched Brian Branch, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. There's like ball hawk the middle of the field, and I got these I got the great white hype. I got the Great White Hype and Reed Blankenship, like freaking Jason Senior. Now we're going to reinvent. Now we're reinventing it with white guys. Like, come on. You know, with all due respect. You know, with all due respect, like, you know how that. We know how. Yeah, I feel like I'm doing my best, Mendenhall. Like, we know how that works in the defense backs, right? Like, we know how that works. Like, some positions, we're just not going to win, guys. All right, we got to accept it. Receivers, slot guys, man, we could be some pimps in the slot, especially if you get Brady, right? So there's some things to be factual, but right, but like, you know,
I don't know.
We do.
Honestly, Tom, who knows? Maybe we're coming back. We're the best running back's a white guy right now. You never know.
We could be making a cut.
Next.
We never really were great DBs, though. We really never were.
A first round DB this year.
I mean, we never been good running backs either, though. So
no, but there's been some thoroughbreds. There's been some guys who will run hard. You know what I mean? You know, they're really laying out.
Most are big guys, though. Most of them are big.
Yeah,
guys.
big moose nuts. Yeah, moose nuts. Not many guys dropping. You know, leaving guys jock straps. Right. over the history of the white running back. Not many guys leaving jock straps.
Yeah, a lot more all-stops and Rigginses than McCaffrey for sure.
A lot of power guys. Yep. But like, come on. I mean, but we want to be the franchise that's running out like the white safety. I'm sorry. Like, I like Reed. I like it. Backup. The backup. It's cute. You know what I mean? It's cute. No,
what's funny is he probably was our best secondary player this year.
No, he was. I'm just like messing around because it could be Brian Branch or Gardner Johnson. So whatever. Now offensively, that's the question mark. Like, who are you going for?
There's a lot of names out there.
So if Brian Johnson does get fired, which he expects coming, maybe not. He might just get hired as a head coach because other people like him, which is amazing.
Well, yeah, I don't know how that's. Who could watch us the last 8 weeks, let's say, of the season and be like, you know what? That's the guy I want as mine.
The Panthers.
Yeah, well, that's true. The Panthers are morons, so that makes sense.
Like, you know how this goes.
Yeah.
Somebody really likes the guy.
I was waiting for Vegas to
really like him.
But they did the smart thing, actually.
Yeah, Vegas.
I thought Vegas was going to fuck it up, but they did the smart thing.
Well, when players go to podcasts and say, well, I'm not going to sign here if he's not staying, and it's your best player, usually that comes with what Al Davis said, which was, I'm not very good at this. But when my players tell me that they won't play here unless he's here, then I think I'm making the right choice.
Obviously,
yeah,
exactly.
We know Mark can't make any decisions. His haircut tells you that.
I said Al. My bad, Mark.
Sorry, Al actually knew what he was doing. He's probably been turning in the grave for years.
Just win, baby. Just win, baby.
Hate his son.
Why did I have that kid?
At the end of Al, he looked like the crypt keeper, didn't he? Jesus.
No, the beginning of Mark looked like a crypt keeper.
No. Remember when Al died? Everyone was like, "Oh, okay, we don't have to look at him anymore." And we saw Mark. We're like, "Jesus, where's Al?"
Yeah. Now we got this for 30. He ain't selling. Not with those looks. He ain't selling.
Fucking haircut freak. The fuck is this guy?
No, you're right. Though. When the players, when a stud player speaks, it echoes through the whole organization. You know what I mean? So not that Tomlin was going anywhere, but as soon as TJ Watt said that, it was like, that's it, Rooney. Don't get any ideas there, Mr. Rooney. All right, TJ has spoken. Thank you very much. I wonder if that had the same, Fletcher Cox and TJ Watt, same effect.
Honestly, thought
organizationally probably
Fletcher wasn't happy. I know. I'm not trying to kill Fletcher.
Yeah, organizationally, I guess he probably does have the same clout.
Fletcher was
with Jeffrey.
The Harper joke. Yeah, you got to use a different word though, Fletch. Come on, that's Harper's term.
Yeah. I mean, it does make me feel better. That, like, hearing Fletcher go after McClain like that makes me feel better. Not saying I'm happy or I wouldn't have made a change, but it definitely okay, you want to try to make me feel better? That helps. It's not like the, you know what I'm saying? It's not the generic answer or generic response, right?
Well,
some fight behind it.
No, you're right.
Some knock it off.
Yeah,
knock it off. But
no, you're right. But you would expect a guy at the end of his rope to do that. Especially maybe with a guy that he feels like he's going to have some loyalty to him. You know what I mean?
That's
it surely wasn't a young whippersnapper. You know what I mean? And we know, I'm not comparing the two character.
Well, I'm sure he wants a contract.
I'm not sure. Yeah, exactly. I'm not comparing the two character-wise. You know what I mean? But it sounds like AJ Brown. We know he's not happy. You know what I mean? So.
No, and there's reports surfacing that he's going to be asking for a trade this offseason. So
whatever. See ya. Good riddance.
If that's
true. I've had enough. See ya. I like Devonta better anyway. See ya. We'll draft another shitty wideout probably.
Yeah, that's what I don't want to do.
Well, listen, let's go get a solid guy
in
free agency. If he really asks for a trade him. See ya.
I just scored 9 points, so I'm not in the business of trying to trade him.
Yeah,
I just scored 9 points.
I'm not trying to trade him either, but if he asks for a trade, I don't want a disgruntled dude on the team. See.
Oh no! If he asks, I'm not openly shopping him.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
You know what I mean? If somebody comes knocking on the door and has a great offer, which nobody's going to give me what I want. Nobody's going to give me a top 10 pick.
You got to at least get a wideout back. You know what I mean? Somebody of, like you said, maybe a high character guy, or that's productive. If you can, in this league.
I'll just take a top 10 pick back, which nobody's going to give me.
No,
unless there's somebody desperate.
Second round, probably.
But you're asking for a 26-year-old wide receiver in the prime of his career.
Well, the Eagles stole him. Yeah. So I think that's, once that happens a third time, everybody's like, all right, dude, fool me once, shame on me, or shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, whatever the saying is, because, like I said, the Eagles stole him. And everybody around here had the wide open mouth, like, whoa, how did we do that? That was amazing. You know what I mean? And it was like, and I know Tennessee didn't want to pay him. I get the business part of it, but they just were like, yeah, just give us whatever. We're cool, man. He's pretty talented, but he's a problem,
Yeah, I'm not saying he's
and
not.
Nothing was reported. Nothing was reported.
Yeah, I don't know what he is, right? I just know we had a terrible fucking year. Jose asked a question. Can Nakobe Dean be the linebacker we hoped he would be, or are we drafting another linebacker? Well, two things. One, we never drafted any, but we do have 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, I believe. So that being said, you could see one go in the second. We're just not drafting one with our first pick. So could we? Yes. Should we? Yes. Can Nakobe be? Yeah, if he's healthy. If he's healthy, he's not going to be worse than what was out there. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I promise you that.
He can't be. He just can't be.
And he's a better and he's a good cover guy anyway. So I think that was your biggest loss when you lose Nakobe, is more of his cover skills than anything else. And he had a decent start to the year too when he was on the field. So I don't know, but listen, how it goes in this league, man. You're hurt when you're young, you're probably gonna be hurt when you're old. So I was gonna say,
there's a saying: guys that get hurt always get hurt.
Stay hurt.
I feel like that dude's gonna be hurt his whole career.
And there was obviously concerns on draft night about his health and his ability to stay healthy. That's why he supposedly dropped as far as he did, right? Everyone was worried about his medicals and stuff like that. So
smart move by everyone, looks like.
Yeah.
Dude's played 5 games in 2 years.
But yeah, I mean, Tom, you talk about the draft and stuff like that with linebackers. Everyone's early mock, and of course they're all mocks, but everyone early shows Trotter's son. Here we go. Chinito beat me to it. Yeah, everyone's mocking Trotter's son to us.
Yeah, that's not
everywhere.
Second round, maybe?
Second round for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely second round. They go cornerback.
We definitely ain't taking him in the first.
Cornerback first, and then in the second round they have going.
I mean, I feel like corner's a no-brainer. I feel like it has to happen.
Yeah,
corner's been a no-brainer for years.
Well, that's actually I might tend to disagree with you for a sec, Wills, because you have Isaiah Rodgers.
Bradbury's so bad.
No. Let me explain to you why maybe corner in the first round doesn't need to be a thing necessarily, right? Is Isaiah Rodgers is coming back now? You're all from football for gambling. Isaiah Rodgers is a starter in this league, so right there you get a starter. So
we do got 2 young guys.
Well, hold on. Bradbury's gone. Isaiah Rodgers, you get back. Then you have Kelly Ringo and Hicks, but then you still have Slay because you can't move on from it. It's too much dead cat money. We talked about it on Wednesday. So you could probably move on from Bradbury because his dead cap's a lot, but whatever. You're just going to bite that one. But Isaiah Rodgers is the key one because you have a young corner on your roster who just didn't play this year. Not because he was hurt, because he liked to mess around like we do, right?
Like to hit a little parlay once in a while.
But that being said, yeah, one of us. That being said, I think safety in the first round would be something I'm really interested in if the right guy is there. But I think any of those 3 positions, this is one benefit that you just take the best guy available. Mm-hmm. Like, you need those 3 positions in some facet, right? So it's hey, Howie, don't get cute, best guy available. Now, I prefer corner to be the last one taken out of those 3 because the other 2, we need starters. Like, I need a day 1 linebacker starter. Mm-hmm. I don't need a guy starting, 2 years from now. I need a day 1 starter. Safety, I could use one, but maybe I can get away with it because, I have some guys back there per se. But I mean, either way, this football team defensively seems like it didn't need a lot. It looked like it from not needing a lot to needing a whole hell of a lot overnight.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean,
get up front.
Yeah, when you're secondary that you made the decision to sign a big money when they fall off a cliff like they did, everything changes right there, especially Bradbury, and when Slay was healthy, he wasn't terrible. You know what I mean? He wasn't taking the football away, but he wasn't terrible in coverage. Bradbury, was
exactly.
Putrid.
Bradbury,
Slay did the same thing Bradbury did. He didn't want to tackle anybody, but he was covering adequately or good enough.
Yeah.
He wasn't like it, he wasn't getting going all plays 92 yards on the field were thrown your way. You know what I mean? None of that kind of stuff happened with Slay. So he's a guy they're probably gonna have back for another year because you don't want to they obviously don't want to redo the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So and they can't afford to either. And they need, and we just thought, like somebody in the chat said, they need some defensive line help too.
Well, we're getting old.
Rusher specialists. But thanks for super chat, MBD. He says Sean Desai cannot be the only coaching change. That's totally unacceptable. And that's how we opened the show with too, is it can't be. Right. It's gotta be Brian Johnson as well. Mm-hmm. All right. Matt Patricia obviously not coming back. So is Brian Johnson going? Is Brian Johnson staying? What are reports with him in jail and true? A little diva, a little I do whatever I want to do type shit. Nobody's fans of that. All right. That's not a good look when that's your handpicked guy. Again, all reports, right? Mm-hmm. But not ideal. Not an ideal report. Not ideal. So a lot of bad reports come in about Jalen this year, though.
Yeah.
Right. A lot more than I've ever heard.
And the reports make sense when you look at the product on the field, too. You know what I mean? We
always say winning masks everything,
Sure does.
But this could have been happened before, but we were winning. Could have been, maybe there was little talks, but we were winning, and then we start losing. Now they get louder.
Yeah, you're right. You just don't notice things, when you're winning. You know what I mean? When you put a good product out on the field, you're going to overlook things. You know what I mean? You're not, people say it's nitpicking, but, like you said, when you lose, everything is magnified, so you see it, that might be who he is, but dude doesn't move off the bench. He's just stoic. He just has blank look on his face. You know what I mean? You look around the league, there's quarterbacks going up and down the sideline, talking to their guys, talking to their coordinators, maybe jacking somebody up. You know what I mean? And
he doesn't need to. He's running his own plays.
Yeah.
Think about it. He don't need to jack nobody up. He's running his own crap.
His own number.
That was rumored halfway through the season. And I remember getting poo-pooed on here talking about it. Maybe not tonight's show, but a show, right? And wow, that he had a say in offensive play design and play call. So
if that's the case, he's a humongous fan of wide receiver screens and QB draw.
Might even have a T-shirt that says "I love screens and draws."
Wouldn't it make sense? Wouldn't it make more sense if this is the case? You have a guy thinking he knows what he's seeing over, and why AJ was getting really pissed off, right? And why nobody called him out. Like nobody called him out, but a lot of people were angry, and everything's going after the coaches. When people were saying we're not doing the right things, we're not, that was the common theme from the locker room. It's on the players. It's not on the coaches here, right? We got to execute. We got to do this. We got to do that. Well, maybe part of it is We don't see the middle of the field ever thrown to anymore because he's running his own stuff. I mean, that's amazing. That would make more sense than Brian Johnson having zero clue.
You better,
but it's one or the other, and he's getting head coaching interviews, so he obviously has a clue.
You better whisper that.
Oh, I'll yell it. I ain't scared of no ghost. Come after me. Like what? Like if it's wrong, it's wrong.
No, I don't mean you're wrong.
Burn them.
No, yeah, like if it's wrong, it's wrong, boys. But it's trending to look that way, which is not ideal.
96% security team in this area.
Well, listen, if he was scoring 32 a game, you can run whatever plays you want. Like I would just say, hey, Jeffrey, save the money. You know what I mean, Jeff, save the money. We just scored 9, and you're going off script. No, you know what I mean? It makes sense. It actually makes more sense. That's why Brian Johnson's still here.
Not only did we score 9, but the everyone knows how to beat us. You just blitz us. You can watch. Literally, he can't. The decision making on blitzes has been awful. Like, how do we not have someone just running a fucking drag or anything, a slant, anything in the middle of the field? It's amazing.
Well, Josh,
meanwhile, against us, all they do is throw the middle of the field. All you gotta do is look across the other side of the field. They just throw the middle of the field all day.
No, and Josh, this is the other thing. Like, he needs to coach him. Last year, he had a guy where, he allowed him to coach him up and ran what he wanted. They had success. This year, he handpicked Brian Johnson, and he went off script. And now Brian Johnson's getting all the blame in the media. He's getting all the memes. He's getting all like he's an idiot. And this guy's running whatever he wants to run. And how's he gonna come out and throw him under the bus to the media? It's a franchise quarterback.
That's
he's
why
getting $255 million. Brian Johnson can't say a word.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's the magic bullet, from the Kennedy assassination. Like there's so many things. There's smoke over here. The grassy knolls over here. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, how could you go like 13 weeks and make no adjustments? You know what I mean? There has to be an answer. How could these guys sit in a room and not do that? You know what I mean? There's
as much film as they watch, right?
That's what I'm saying. There's former players that you guys know well. I saw a video the other day, and they're talking about the blitz and saying it's not his fault. All right, they're running 20-yard outs. All right, and they're not. He doesn't have anywhere to go with the football.
How's there not a check at the line?
Well, why are we not changing that? Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is going on? That's what I'm saying.
Remember Hot Route? Like, it's like one of the first audibles ever invented.
Yeah,
mix it in. Like lift the knee up, lift the leg. You know what I mean? Love a leg.
I think I saw a running back screen in one of the games today. I mean, that's
we don't have one in our offense this year.
Novel play that we haven't seen in a while.
No, we saw it not even that long ago. We saw it this time last year because we had one. Yeah. We used to run it, Greg. We stopped running that for whatever reason.
Yeah, we switched to just 1,000 wide receiver screens.
And the way these games are going, right, irks you even more the way the season went.
Yeah.
Right, because everybody's in everything outside of like you could smell the Houston happening because they just blew somebody out and blew their load, right? You could smell that coming a little bit. But the rest of these games, are dogfights, right? Like as the NFL's been all year, right? It's been dogfight city. It's been dogfight central. So, like, not saying we're not better than anybody. We were just 1-6. But what irks you about the finish to the year is that, man, if you just cleaned your act up a little bit, if you cleaned your act up a little bit, man, you guys, who knows if you're still playing? Probably not, But there was no adjustments to sweeps this point, They just didn't do anything. Good times.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, really. I don't understand how. To me, that's why the coach has to be fired. Now, I understand if Jalen's making if he's not running the offense the way he's supposed to be running it, like you're saying, that's a possibility. That's not. I hope that's not the case because that's not good and that's bad. That's just flat out bad. That would be really bad. But to me, Brian Johnson, like we were so bad down the stretch. You got to see that they're blitzing us constantly and we can't do anything about it. How are you not just watching film being like, okay, we got to change this up?
That's what I just cannot believe it. Like, I just don't understand. It has nothing, like you originally want the guy to be in a shotgun. That's great. I cannot believe a guy can't be under center And it doesn't mean that has to be your offense all the time. You know what I mean? Like the RPOs, they're cute. How about turning around with a great offensive line and running 26 off tackle, 25 off tackle? Like, how about it? I'm running some stretch plays. You know what I mean? Like, did it have to be put in the belly or don't put in the belly? Or day? Like, come on, man. Like, let's stop reinventing the wheel, dude. Like, that stuff's all cute. That's gadget shit, man. It's gadget shit.
Yep.
No, you're right. It is.
When you have the ability to punch people in the mouth,
people smell the gadgets, man. That's when you become obviously predictable. You know,
gadget spinners.
Yeah,
I think Tom famously called Rager that.
Yes.
Probably best call of his life. Honestly,
yeah. Only time I ever was right. First time in my life.
That's called.
Now we're on draft night.
I think we were all right on that one.
Yeah.
No,
listen, there's over 100 people watching on YouTube. I'm going to need you guys to pound the like, subscribe.
Everyone on this
Stay
show.
with us.
Yeah.
Stay with us.
Not all of us at A2D, but sorry. Stray bullet. Sorry.
Bullets happen. They take place.
Magic bullet. We already talked about it.
Well, no, this team has a lot of needs outside just coordinators.
Oh,
Right?
Whole
So
lot. How about 3 guys that can tackle? That'd be cool.
Yeah, if you have time for a fourth, add him in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe throw a fourth in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're so bad.
I don't like everyone talking. Yeah. I thought Jordan Davis played well early in the year, but obviously disappeared late, and everyone talking about how he's fat and out of shape. I don't like that. Don't like that.
Yeah, I don't, but I think Milton Williams and Jalen Carter are better anyway.
True.
So he's supposed to be a run stopper.
Might be right there. So then he's just a bad pick. Then.
Well, you know, I like the pick because we didn't stop the run prior to that, if you recall. So at the time, I liked the pick, but I also wasn't totally fond of the Hamilton. But guess what? I also didn't know.
You didn't know you were going to get Carter the following year, yeah.
Yeah, and then you didn't know how good Hamilton was going to be. Like, you knew Hamilton was
that's what I said.
Was special. So it's like, listen, it's a catch-22 at the end of the day. It's not as far off as Reagor and Jefferson.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's also not our job. That's their job. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think Titans are gonna be in shape.
Like, Hamilton. Hamilton is a top 15 pick, so it didn't. See, I know it's easy to say now, so it's not like try to play Monday morning quarterback and say, oh look, I mean, it's glaring now because they're not even close. You know what I mean? And all we were saying was it's not a second guess when it's a first guess because I thought they were collecting defensive tackles. Right? They had that was their strength. Their front four on defense and offense. There are 2 lines. They had 2 of the best lines. When they went to the Super Bowl for years. They've had their interior has been great on both sides for years, and that's why I didn't like the pick. It wasn't that he was a specimen or he can't be good. I just didn't. I didn't like the pick. So. It doesn't mean that we thought, I thought Kyle Hamilton was going to be a star. Just look around what you have on the roster. You haven't had a guy since B-Dog back there flying around. Take it. That's your guy. Take a shot. You know what I mean? That would have been your guy, so.
Because that same year, which was last year, you had to go out and trade for Gardner Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you weren't able to do that. That was in-house, and then you lose him anyway. So, it all circles back. It all circles back.
He had a pick today.
And the same thing today, right? Like Nolan Smith might be better than Brian Branch when it's all said and done, right? Who knows? I don't know yet, right? But I do know Brian Branch was a day 1 starter. That's what he was going to come out of Alabama and do for you. And you went for the good-looking pick, the one you can stash. And in a year from now, you could maybe say, hey, I'm smarter than you, right? I don't like that. Just because you have 2 picks in the first round, no. I'm shooting for 2 day 1 starters. If the upside on the other guy might be a little higher, cool story. I'm getting 2 day 1 starters, right? And Nolan Smith is a pedigree guy. I get it. So is Brian Branch.
Have need, Tommy. I
got need a safety. I just let 2 safeties walk.
You cannot.
I'm going to go in under man when I have Derek Barnett on the roster. I don't need Nolan Smith to play, and I can go draft at the end next year. No, I draft. Say, you know what? I'm not going to draft for stash. With my second pick in the first round, I'm drafting for damn need. That's the need time. That's when you might reach on need. Reach on need then.
You cannot miss in the first round. You just can't. We see
you got one hand. Listen, you got one delivered to you and Jalen Carter. Hand delivered.
We see it at the quarterback position, and we get that. We understand how, it's well documented, in the course of the history of the NFL. Like, the quarterback position has been missed in the draft plenty of times. So, that you're like, oh man, we took a shot, whatever, but you just can't miss with those other guys, whether it's a skill guy or, guys up front. You just can't miss with those guys because it sets you back. Like I said, it's the domino thing. Yeah, we know after the Jefferson debacle, you know what I mean? Like, they got Devontae Smith a year later, but they don't have to. If you have Jefferson, you don't have to pick Smith. I know we all love the Slim Reaper, right? But if you got Jefferson, you don't need Smith. Then you go somewhere else, right? I'm not saying I don't know where they're going there. You know what I mean? But if you don't miss on defense, like Tom's alluded to with those picks right there, then you might not need that much. It's not that glaring this year, not only on the field, but in your future, right? Because they have to go defense right now. But you get a guy, there's Lane Johnson's getting old. And I mean, he's still great, but I'm saying there's a guy, Tyler Guyton is in this draft, a really athletic tackle. Eagles, and he's right around where the Eagles are picking. They can't take him. All right, because they got to go defense. You know what I mean? But it's a shame if they didn't have the setbacks, then you could take a guy like to Tom's point about stashing guys. All right, here we're going to take this guy for when Lane retires or when Lane gets hurt.
Yeah, agreed.
You can't do that.
Don, if you remember, I said I would take Gibbs with that second pick in the first round. I got laughed at about that too. Right, so there's three guys.
I like that kid, man. He runs hard.
I didn't say Porter because I would have taken Porter too. So I'm not going to go out and say I said Joey Porter, but I know I said Gibbs and Branch were better picks than Nolan Smith, right? Or was Gibbs taken before Smith? He might have been taken before.
Gibbs was taken early.
Yeah, he was early,
right?
Yeah,
he was early. Yeah, because
I think Detroit took him before. I think they took him before Bijan.
No, they didn't.
If I remember correctly.
No, you don't.
Obviously, I don't remember correctly.
In the teens, I think. In the teens, maybe?
Teens. It's all right. Yeah. But no, Don, you guys got to steal there, even though, it's a first round pick.
Yeah, kick and play. Kick and play.
That was a can't miss her. Definitely can't miss her. He was, they took Jack Campbell at 18. He was 12.
12. Okay.
So right after us then, because we went 10, right?
Yeah, we picked 10. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Lions had the Lions first round or first three picks.
Their first four picks are all huge contributors.
Yeah, and which was shocking.
Gibbs, Campbell, Laporta, and Branch.
Yeah. I mean, not shocking talent wise. I mean, shocking that they had at the time they still had Swift and the other dude led the league in touchdowns. I know they were vulture.
Jamal Williams.
Yeah, they were vulture touchdowns. I get it, but he was still productive. So at the time we were like, ooh, running back, and now they're in the conference championship. You know what I mean? Like, you just sometimes there's a special guy that comes along. Guys that that you're like, hey man, this guy's special. I can't pass up on him. And they've hit a ton of things. There's a reason why. Like they hit at the head coaching position, and they hit all these picks. You know what I mean? And and they got.
Yeah, I like Aaron Glenn a lot too.
They took Sewell when they needed to. And
when everybody said Chase, they took the right guy.
Yeah, they took Sewell when they're supposed to. I mean, we're talking about running off tackle. And this guy's pulling and destroying people on the edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's beautiful thing to watch. Right, I mean the big guy's moving, baby.
Yo, he can move.
Yeah.
The one when I can't think of who it was, but somebody over pursued it, and he was like, "I don't even got to hit you. I can just run around you and go hit the other guy." He just let him go. He's like, "I'll just run right around you."
Yeah, maybe.
Smart dude.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is.
I like to watch the Detroit team. I'm pulling for you, Don. Yeah, I am pulling for you, kid.
Yeah, I guess.
First off, I hate the Niners, but man, they're fun to watch. Love me some Dan Campbell.
I guess I should ruin Don's week right now and let him know that I'm holding the Detroit Lions NFC champion ticket. So let's go, Don. If they lose on Sunday, you know who to blame.
It's over.
Yeah,
and it's gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm here
that
for.
was fun.
That's like that South Park. They put your money in the bank and it's gone. Lions had a chance and it's over.
Don, good for you, man. I mean, I know it's been a long time, buddy. So congratulations, and we're ecstatic for you. And
yeah, live it up, man.
I know these guys are these guys are in the NFC, but I think they still they still love what Campbell's doing. I don't think anybody hates the Lions. You know what I mean? Maybe like the Packers or Vikings, guys that are in the division. But what a great story. What a great story.
Yeah, I'm really pulling for him. Jared Goff's been playing great. Another good story. Jared Goff got thrown away by the Rams, playing great.
Yeah, and you just got, like you said, you got to find the guys up front, and just the toughness, man. Like Ragnow gets rolled up on, dude, and he plays the whole game. He don't even miss a play. They're asking him, "You okay?" He's like, "I'm not coming out." It just, it's awesome, just awesome.
Yeah, he got rolled up a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So the Eagles have 3 picks in the first 2 rounds. They got their first
22. Yep.
And then they have their own second, which is 42, and then they have the Saints pick, wherever that is, and then they have a third. They don't have a fourth, but then they have 4 fifths. So, you look at
we'll take a linebacker.
You look at the 4 picks in the first 4 picks in the first 3 rounds. I need 3 guys that are day 1 starters.
Absolutely. At least contributors for sure.
Which Saints picked it? Saints are picking
second round pick.
Saints are picking 14 overall. So whatever that equates
probably
to.
20, probably 44. No.
42.
42. Is 42
50.
the Saints pick?
Well, could be 44.
It doesn't say what number, but
Tankathon shows 22, 50, and 53.
So
okay.
50.
So 50.
And they do have a third for a comp, Tommy. They have a compensatory pick in the third.
Yeah, just that one. They don't have their own.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, they don't have their own.
So they have 4.
So the comp pick's probably the very
4
end
in the
of
top
third, right?
100.
3 in the top 53, solid. I was saying that. So the comp pick in the third is right at the very end of the third, then probably, right?
Yeah, 97.
Yeah, and you could be right back in the conversation next year. You get your picks right.
Hey,
right,
3 in the top 53, they should all be contributors.
Tankathon has us taking the Great White Hope out of Iowa.
By the way, I was just going to say, I wasn't going to say that about the Eagles, but I was just going to say we might be back. We just talked about it, and Cooper DeJean is a first rounder. Wow, he's versatile. He's so versatile. He can play any of the secondary positions.
Team him up with Reed. We're team him up with Reed, baby.
We're doing this. That's how we're doing this.
We're back.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
We're back.
Kool-Aid will be available, Tom. If you're thirsty,
we would probably be
Kool-Aid.
We would probably be like one of the first teams in years to have 2 white starting secondary.
Yeah. We're gonna try to throw the ball more, Sam.
Good thing, right?
No, we're gonna throw the ball tonight. No, Terry and Arnold's really good. Mr. Rudy Poo, that's a good one from Bama. And
there's a bunch of guys that'll be available down there.
Yeah, he's a good one. So, but there's a lot of you know how this goes. There's a lot of ball players. Yeah,
Arnold. The only problem, Arnold's going in the top 15 there, Mr. Rudy Poo. So we agree with you.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be there.
He will not be there. He will not be there at 22. So.
Speaking of Kool-Aid, he might drop then. If Arnold, one of them's going to go high, one of them's going to drop.
Yeah, Arnold's projected top 15, and that's why I say Kool-Aid should be there at 22. But who knows what people decide what they want to do. You know what I mean? Nobody has a crystal ball. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
Arnold's the top 12 pick, top 12 to top 15.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can take a guy named Kool-Aid in the first round.
I can. You know how the name games go.
Nah, I don't know.
He'll be able to play.
I don't know. Will he be able to play?
I mean, you can't walk. It's hard to walk around like with Kool-Aid and not. Yeah, I think this brings the best out of you.
Yeah, Mr. Rudy Poo, he's a projected first rounder as well, too, buddy. So I think somebody Somebody got your scouting report because he's in the top 20.
Toledo.
He's good. He's good.
I mean,
Mac after
Bryce,
dark. All right, nobody's playing. Yeah, Mac. Nobody's playing D, but apparently he was.
Yeah.
Am I trading a first and second for Surtain in a heartbeat? Young shutdown corner in a heartbeat. I don't think they're going to trade him though. But
I'll give you that third. I got a lot of holes here. You know what I mean? I'll give you the first and the third.
I'll give first and second.
The second, I'm not going to say no, but I'm not running. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna say, hold on, let me talk to my guys.
Yeah, it's an art of negotiation, buddy. I mean, yeah, you don't come with your best. You work back to your best.
I know no one's running him out, but going back to the Nolan Smith pick, though, I mean, it makes sense when you think of Barnett was on his last year, right? Graham, you didn't expect to come back again this year or next year, right? So we did need to start replacing it. It's just magnified to all your points when Brian Branch is such a huge contributor to that defense, right? Even Joey Porter, who I know is a little high, but even he was a huge contributor to Pittsburgh's offense or defense and stuff like that. So I get these guys
contributed offensively.
How high?
I get the, and like I said, no one said we're running him out, but the pick does look magnified as a miss right now because of his lack of production on the field and our holes, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a pick next year. That's ends up being a great pick.
Yeah,
guy has 8 to 10 sacks,
and we need him to be right at this point.
I mean, next year's got to be a guy
to be good for sure.
Well, not even down the line. Next year
he's got to be it.
Yeah. Gonna need you to be 8 to 10 sacks, buddy. So,
I do agree, though. We do need him to be good, obviously, because especially it's glaring when there's a bunch of guys picked, after him that have played really well, and we can't tackle anybody. So,
no. Well, that's good Eagles talk. You guys want to get in the crumbs and get our way out of here?
Yeah.
Sure.
You guys got them lined up?
Giddy up.
Anyone's got any in the chamber? Fire away.
Mine's the NFL. Yeah. I would have said this last week. I hate the Monday playoff game. Selfishly, I have to work Monday nights, so I don't like it right there. But I don't like it anyway. What are we doing? It should be played just do 3 games Saturday, 3 games Sunday. What are we doing with this stupid Monday night just to make more money? And then that stupid Peacock. Don't get me started. Roger Goodell should be killed. Peacock. What a piece of shit move that was to put a game on Peacock. You have prime games all year.
Yep.
So you already got to have prime if you want to watch Thursday, and then they hit us with a Peacock on a playoff game. Fucking assholes, dude. How big's your yacht got to be, Roger? Fucking scumbag.
Absolutely.
No, 100%. And then not only that, and it wasn't us though, right? But if it would have been us winning, we got to go then on a short week to San Fran because we played Monday night.
Yeah, so stupid.
It was even shorter because they played Saturday.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Like at least Tampa had the one extra day because they went to Detroit. So no, I hear you. The Sunday or the Monday playoff game is just it's another money grab. It's another money grab.
It's another way to make money because they'll have higher ratings at 8 p.m. on Monday than they will at 1 p.m. on Sunday. That's why. It's bullshit. Or sorry, 1 p.m. Saturday. 1 p.m. Saturday, I guess it would have been.
Yeah, it is. It's bullshit.
I actually kind of liked it. Kind of worked out with the 2 on each day, even though I was upset there wasn't a game early Sunday because of the snow. But yeah, it should just be 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. Get it in, get it done during the weekend, like you should.
Yeah, like you should.
Yeah.
Mine's the Eagles. So just even announcing Sean Desai's fired because you did that.
I was going to say 7 weeks ago.
Yeah. So I mean, just because you didn't want to really do it then, you did it then. So that's a cute little story that came out today. Like Eagles fired Sean Desai. He was already fired.
Yeah.
Eagles fired defensive coordinator. Like He was already canned, guys. We don't need an announcement here. So that's my crumb.
I like it. I like it, Tommy.
It's got to be Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Like, not only do you get Dort at home, another playoff performance at home by the vaunted Dallas Cowboys, but then you're going to bring McCarthy back. Like, do you need an anvil to fall on your head? Like, I don't care what the talking heads say. Like, 12 wins are cute. That's great, and he makes the playoffs. That's great. Like that's what you want. I mean, that's what you settle for, Jerry, right? That's that's what all the oil money's for. That's what all the, you know what I mean? So I love it because I enjoy laughing at him every year. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, it's fitting, but it's like, how can heads not be rolling there? Like, oh my God. Like, if that
that's amazing.
Especially with a hands-on owner like him, I cannot believe it. Like, how this one couldn't be the cake. Take the cake. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about playoff losses, you know, where, you know, did Des Bryant catch the ball, or, you know, was that a catch, or what, you know, something like that. Like, you got embarrassed at home. A 48 burger. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? A 48 burger. We're talking about Dan Quinn
as an 8-point favorite.
We're talking about Dan Quinn for like head coaching jobs. It's like, you know, holy cow, Dan, we already saw you as a head coach, and you've done a great job as a coordinator, right? But that was, wow. You know, I don't know what was worse. Him, I'll probably give it. I would probably, you know, let's. I'm gonna add Jim Schwartz and the Browns to that too. You know what I mean? Like, credit to the Texans. You know, awesome story. D'Amico Ryan and C.J. Stroud and the rest of the organization. Awesome job. All right. You know, a year or two early, you know, jumped on the scene and embraced it and got a home playoff game. You know, kudos to them. But, you know, all I kept hearing about was how great the Browns defense is and all this good stuff. And, you know, Jim Schwartz is back, and, you know, and I know 2 of them are pick sixes, but, you know, you still gave up 31 points. 31 points, you know what I mean? Texans did whatever they wanted.
Yeah, they stole your lunch money.
The reason, I mean, the second pick six was they were going for it because they knew they couldn't stop them. Fourth down. Like, yeah, embarrassed. 100% correct, Sweeps. Their defense was embarrassed. Cleveland's defense was embarrassed.
Yeah, for sure.
By
Mr. Rudy Poo.
Rookie head coach and rookie quarterback.
Yep.
Thanks for the super chat. He says, missed 41-yard field goal, cross-body throw, and a triple coverage. Betting has me thinking if it's the worst thing to happen in sports. Yeah. Yeah. Has you thinking for sure.
Would definitely save me a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
I could land on that. No. I will I'll land on our good friend back at the NCAA in this transfer portal and the NIL. It was reported today that Ohio State is paying $13+ million in NIL deals to fund their roster. Yeah, it's probably not what the NCAA had in mind when they released and announced the NIL was coming to college football. But it's the wild, wild west. The transfer portal was just an absolute shit show in there.
Yeah, and like I said, we already knew that. But when the GOAT walks away, it's time for an emergency meeting. It's time to call everybody that's, you know, in the organization. Who's on my panel? Who's in the war room with me? And, you know, alerts should go off. You know, sirens are going off. The GOAT's leaving because he's disgusted. The guy had interviews set up. He had everything set up, and something pushed him over the edge. He wasn't ready to walk away, and obviously he blatantly said it. He said,
"Oh, it's the NIL,
the transfer portal are making me sick, and I've had enough." Yep. That's it. And, you know, and it's like, nothing, nothing.
Yeah. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. So,
yeah.
Well, they have to, I mean, at this point, just start paying, just have all the players get paid a certain amount. And
Chip Kelly said it best.
If they want to transfer, they got to sit out a year again because
that's the biggest thing.
It's a disaster.
And then something my dad brought up too is that if you leave, you got to give some of that NIL back to the school because they obviously paid you. Right? They paid you for your name, image, and likeness. Right? So now if you're leaving, then you gotta fork over some of that back.
Yeah,
with the 1 year rule.
That's what I'm saying.
The problem is the new team will just do it for them.
They just never,
that's fine, yeah.
They just can't get out of their own way. And that's why they're pretty much 35 of the 52 weeks, they found their way on Crumb of the week. You know what I mean? And it's just, they just can't get out of their own way. It's just, they went from, guys can't even buy ramen noodles to now with guys driving Porsches.
They're making more than Pop.
And they're being where's the happy medium? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like that's all
Would it come out like 10 or 12 guys?
I get it. You guys are bringing in millions of dollars, but that's it. You're not a pro yet. You're still an amateur. You know what I mean? So the reason why they couldn't get a little checky poo, you know, for $5,000, they take care of stuff you need to take care of. You know, if you know, your housing, whatever. You know, so you're not walking around eating out of trash cans. I get that. You know what I mean? But it's ridiculous. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Guys got Rolexes and stuff. Come on, man.
Used to give them like fines and stuff if the assistant coach bought him pizza or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I bought a pizza. I can't have that.
Yeah.
So now they got. It's like, I took a private jet here. Didn't travel with the team.
Yeah, they just skipped over everything. It was like the NCAA was like in like second grade, and then they just went right to fucking senior year. Like they skipped like 10 grades. They're like, hey, we don't want to pay you guys. We don't want to pay you guys.
Yeah.
But here now you guys can have Range Rovers. That's it. You know, get out.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's about to play in the NFC Championship game, but I think there's a list that came out like 10 to 12 or some sort of number of guys in college making more than Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
Even though he was the last pick in the draft. But you know what I mean? But yeah, something's got to change. You know what I mean? Like with all these coaches, I mean, DeBoer left Washington. Now all their quarterbacks are you know what I mean, are leaving. Half of Alabama's kids are leaving now because the new staff is coming in. It's just this stuff.
Well,
can't
the
happen.
freshman went to Ohio State today, right?
And everything should, like you said,
Did he?
they just can't get out of their own way. Everything should be regulated. You know what I mean? So if guys are getting paid tons of money, then you go pay for your own school. You can have the money, pay for your own school. Need that scholarship money back, and I can give it to baseball and softball and some other places that have 10 scholarships. And then people say, "Oh, nobody's there to watch them." I don't give a shit, dude. I understand that too, but like, come on, man. Like, you don't need it. You're getting a killing. So you know, you can pay your own tuition if you want to stay in school.
Yeah, I'm with you. They have to figure out a way to regulate it because it's just a mess right now. It's just a disaster. It's got to be regulated. And selfishly, I'm cool with it not being regulated right now because Syracuse is getting a ton of recruits. So I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it at the moment. But let's pump the brakes.
What was Chip Kelly's thing with it?
So Chip, someone asked Chip right either at the end of the regular season or after bowl season. I think it might have been in between. And he basically said, with all the conference restructuring going on and the NIL going on, he goes, why can't football, just all the football schools come together? You have 64 at the power, level. You have the 64, whatever it is, the numbers at the lower level. There's no conferences. It's one giant thing. And that way you can keep the rivalry games alive, right? And then you pick and choose different schedules to make throughout that grouping of Power 5 schools per se.
Yeah, he basically.
What he was saying is it ruins the other sports that aren't football as well. He's like, why is UCLA going to go play Penn State women's softball? They should always be playing Arizona, right? They should so. It was football is ruining the other sports because football is just a wild, wild west and naturally the money maker, right? And then that way you could sell those. You could sell those TV rights. You could sell those, rename the bowls, right? You could do all that with just the football and leave the other sports in their general conferences where they're regionalized like it should be.
Yeah, and you had all people that were in charge of those other sports. And then when, the Pac-12 falls apart, then, you're exactly. They're just affecting everybody. That's I heard that interview, and that's definitely what he was. That's absolutely. That's what he was alluding to. You know what I mean? It's like, the other sports are suffering because of football. So
I think three of the Pac-12 schools are going to the ACC next year, which means some point during the college basketball season, Syracuse is going to have to go play Stanford.
Yeah,
I think Stanford's one, and I think Cal might be one. Like, what? We got to go travel cross country to play a college basketball game. What are we doing?
When they going to school? Like, not that it matters to anybody, but like, isn't that what everyone says? You're getting an education.
Yeah, disaster.
Yep.
And I hate the fact that they're ruining like all the rivalry games. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
No, it's stupid. You're right. It went it went 0 to 100. There was no middle ground. It really is dumb. You know what I mean? Just pay guys. Give everybody a budget.
And I think that was part of it.
You know what I
too.
mean?
Like,
you give every school a goddamn budget. Why is this so hard to understand?
Chip was saying that,
you got a salary cap. This is what you can spend.
Yep.
And with the rights, because they're going to make billions, the rights, all right, then you pay the football players. You know what I mean? Like you pay them then. Like in Chip's model, right? Like in Chip's model, once you have these huge TV deals and with all the different, like the Big Ten Network and all that stuff, you then obviously you have a body of money to pay the kids a decent living wage to where they're not making millions and millions and millions of dollars.
They're going to school. They're kids. Like, if they got a check for $10,000 each semester, they'd be tickled pink, right? But now, because what it turned into, they would stick their nose up at that, right? But I played college sports, dude. Like, if I get a check for $10,000, I'd be doing cartwheels. You know what I mean? Like
jerking off in the street.
Shit. Yeah.
I
already did that for free, Wills. Don't check the tape. That's 30 years ago. But no, you're right.
All right, boys. Great stuff. We'll see you all next week. We're brought to you every Wednesday by our doc, Make 'em Yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy LLC, locations in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. As always, Greg Milakovic, Nick DelGozzo, Brian Wilson. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, we love you. We thank you. Keep the comments coming.
Go Sixers, baby.
Go Sixers.
Back-to-back
Sixers, go Flyers.
Back-to-back MVPs. Stud.
He's at a different level. So you know what next week's going to be. Next week we're going to start getting in, diving into a lot more Sixers.
Oh, I thought you were talking about him getting hurt.
No, I was goddamn
Greg, why are you throwing that out there in the universe?
Who's playing the Super Bowl?
Greg?
Quickly, Tom, who you got?
Ravens, Niners.
I'm taking Detroit, dude.
I don't want it
Detroit,
to be.
Kansas City.
They're the two I'm rooting for, but looking at chalk, Ravens, Niners. Ravens are tough, boy.
Ravens, Lions here.
Yeah, you got to say that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens, Lions too. I can't. I'm not picking Shanahan.
Yeah,
or those losers. You know what I mean? I'm not picking them. So, but I do the Ravens. That's a tough play. Hey, good luck. Good luck, Kansas City. But if there's got to go beat them, it's Pat. So,
yeah, and Spags is doing a great job too. So it'll be a war. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll game. I bet. Yeah,
I'll take the points in that, whatever they are. So
it'll be a war.
But that'll be a great one. And listen, Lions and Niners should be a great one too. So I'm excited for that one as well. So let's go Lions. We're all big Lions fans. So
absolutely.
Giddy up. All right, hit the like and subscribe.
The roar, Don. Restore the roar.
Restore it, Donnie. Hit the like and subscribe on your way out. We thank you. Go Birds.